Hola amigos, bienvenidos a Español con la señora Pérez. Today we're going to be looking at subjunctives. So the subjunctive can be a very difficult topic for many Spanish learners to understand. It's very important that you understand when to use the subjunctive first before we even try to use them. And that's what we're going to go ahead and go over first. And always we're going to do them in English first and then slowly transition into Spanish. So let's go ahead and get started. The best thing that I can tell you to explain what the subjunctive is that we have two subjects in one given sentence or moment. So like I said, there are two subjects and it could be an I or you or he, she. And then we have a second subject that can be a person or something. Here's a quick example. I am happy you are here. You have your first subject, I, and I am happy that you, the second subject, are here. Another example can be, they want us to play soccer. So they is our first subject, right? And who do they want to play soccer? They want us, and us is that second subject. In order for you to know when to use subjunctives, it's important to remember this acronym, and many teachers use this when they're teaching Spanish. The acronym is WEIRDO. Each letter stands for something, and again, it's a great reminder of when to use the subjunctive. Let's go ahead and look at the WEIRDO acronym. The letter W stands for wishes and desires. A quick example of this in English would be, I hope you take the bus. I hope you take the bus expresses a wish or a desire. All right, let's look at the second letter, E. E stands for expressions or emotions. It makes me sad that you are sad. So I am the first subject in that sentence and you are the second subject in that sentence. All right, our third letter is I, and it stands for impersonal expression. The name says it all. It's very impersonal, meaning that there's not a specific subject like you or I, but it could be to anybody and to everybody. So the best example that I can come up with is, it's important that we all brush our teeth before we go to bed. Nothing personal about that. Moving right along, we have the letter R, and that stands for recommendations or requests. She needs you to do your homework. She is that first subject. You would be your second subject in that sentence. And we're requesting that you complete your homework, right? She needs you to do your homework. All right, moving on to our next letter. It's the letter D, and that stands for doubt or denial. I doubt he will make it to the play on time. Again, we have I as the first subject. He is our second subject. I doubt he will make it on time to the play. Last but not least, we have the letter O. O stands for ojalá. Ojalá is an expression that means God willing, I hope, I pray, if only. So we can say, God willing, he has a safe flight. God willing, or I hope that he has a safe flight. There we go. We finished our WEIRDO. Remember to write these down and memorize these. They're going to be very helpful. Now we're moving on to the English of how subjunctives are done. So we're going to look back at that first example that we had, which was, they want us to play soccer. So in order for us to understand this, we need to plug in that word that. They want that us to play soccer. Just go along with me for this, okay? The second example that we have is, I am happy you are here. And we need to plug in that word that into a sentence. I am happy that you are here. And in Spanish, that would be the word que. Q-U-E without the accent. Que. So here goes the formula of how subjunctives are done in Spanish. We want to take the present tense in the yo form, and we're actually going to be using that as our stem for our starting point in the subjunctives. Now we know that sometimes we have those irregular verbs. It doesn't matter. We want to always be looking at that yo form, and that's going to be our stem. So once we have our stem or our root that we're going to do our subjunctives, we are going to be flipping the endings. All right, just roll with me. We're going to be flipping these endings, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do those in the subjunctive. So here is our flip. So any verb that ends in AR, like hablar or caminar, in that yo form, we keep the stem, and we're going to be changing it to the letter E. For example, instead of saying yo hablo, you want to say yo hablé. Or yo camino, yo caminé, ending in E. Now for ER and IR verbs, we will be changing the ending to the letter A or A. Like in the verb correr, yo corro, you say yo corra. Comer, yo como, yo coma. See, it ends in A. So AR verbs change to E. ER-IR verbs change to the letter A. And that is our flip, okay? Only for the subjunctive. Now we're going to be looking at these examples in Spanish, okay? So we have, they want us to play soccer. And remember, we need to plug in that word, that, right? So they want that, us to play soccer. And our verb in this case would be jugar. And in Spanish, you would say, ellos quieren que nosotros juguemos fútbol. We change that A to an E. Let's go ahead and look at another example. I am happy you are here. Let's plug in that. I am happy that you are here. And our verb in this sentence would be that are or estar. Remember, to be, estar. Yo estoy feliz de que tú estés aquí. Yo estoy feliz de que tú estés aquí. Changing that A to an E. Now, I know that we only looked at 2 examples, but there's so many more that you can find online, and I encourage you to go ahead and do so. Also, don't forget to remember that acronym WEIRDO. It comes in handy when knowing the conditions of when to use the subjunctive. Bueno, amigos, we've reached the end of this video. Remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. As always, if you have any comments or questions, please go ahead and leave a message down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Gracias. Hasta la próxima.